Hey everybody, the Super Beta 400 here, back for another review, and this time, this is my review of the 2016 Marvel Cinematic Universe film, Captain America Civil War. Civil War. Brief history get into this, before I get into this review. Um, I've been looking forward to Captain America Civil War for like a year now. When I first heard about the news that the third Captain America movie would be Captain America Civil War, I was actually disappointed because this was inconsistent with what happened at the end of Captain America the Winter Soldier. At the end of Captain America the Winter Soldier, Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, told the judge that yes, the world is a vulnerable place, but standing between you and total annihilation is the Avengers. They're all you've got. So I thought with that, the government would stop trying to ban or do stuff or punish the Avengers, because yeah, like I said, the world is a vulnerable place, but the Avengers are all that stand between you and annihilation and defending the Earth, not just from people on Earth, but people from various other places like Loki and Thanos. So I felt them doing a Captain America, a Civil War based movie was a desperate attempt to counter DC's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which has a similar premise. And I who wants to watch a film where Captain America and Iron Man are fighting each other with Spider-Man in the middle? I want to see Captain America, Iron Man, the Avengers fight Thanos, Avengers Infinity War. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. But then when I saw the film Avengers Age of Ultron, then I started to be more positive towards Captain America Civil War. When I saw how Avengers Age of Ultron led up until Captain America Civil War, then of course then of course when then of course when I went on Wikipedia and not only read the premise of Captain America Civil War, but saw the high caliber cast of characters that would be appearing in this film, which included Captain America, Steven Rogers, Tony Stark, Iron Man, um, Paul Bettany returning as Vision, Hawkeye, Scott Lang, the Ant Man, Wanda, um, Black Widow, um, War Machine, Falcon, Falcon, um, Falcon making his debut, the Black Panther, and of course, making his making his debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Tom Holland as Peter Parker slash Spider Man. So when I saw the cast of characters that would be in this film, then I read the premise that, unlike in the comic book, which had them revealing their secret identities to the government, to the government, this film is a little bit more realistic. There are no secret identities in this universe, and it's the government wanting to pass some laws that will enable them to control the actions of the Avengers, then control the actions of the Avengers. So when I read all of that, when I saw Avengers Age of Ultron, read the premise and saw the cast of characters, I started to look forward to to Captain America Civil War. Then when I saw the trailer of of when I saw the first trailer of Captain America, Steven Rogers, the Winter Soldier, and Tony Stark, Iron Man fighting each other, oh man, I was pumped. Then I saw the second trailer, which was even better than that. And this trailer debuted the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Oh, I was really pumped when I saw the new retro costume, and then I saw the various TV spots, but I didn't see the film when it was released because I have various personal problems. But I wish I would have saw the film when it was released. No, instead, yeah, I don't have a ticket here, so I saw a I saw a low quality stream of this film on a website called Putblocker or Putlocker, something like that, which is now where I go to watch all my movies. I used to only go to places like this to watch old movies, but now I do it to watch current movies being released now and movies that have just recently been released, and I've seen the film 5 times. I've watched the film earlier today, or should I say earlier yesterday, for this review right here, and like I said, the film was awesome as always. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, they always exceed my expectations. They always do better than I expect them to do. Than I expect them to do. Their films are always better than I expected them to be, and this film is probably, if you told me to choose which is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe film, I like all, excluding Iron Man 2 and 3. This film right here is probably the best. This film had the best story. This film had probably the best story of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, because unlike previous Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I'm not saying those weren't like realistic, but this one was like, for the most part, totally grounded in realism and tackle real life social issues. Like I said in my various Batman v Superman reviews, one thing I like about this film and Batman v Superman is that these two films right here tackle real social issues. They show that just because you have superheroes, that still doesn't make the world a better place. The world is still a screwed up place, even with all of these heroes here, even with all of these heroes here. And then I also like this film because this film stuck it to the Marvel Cinematic Universe haters. The Marvel Cinematic Universe haters, mostly the DC fanboys, um, always ridicule and mock Marvel, saying, "Oh, they're kid friendly. They can't be dark. They can't be edgy. They can't be complex." And right here, they prove you wrong. They can still stick to what they want to be, the audience they want to target, but they can also edge it up a bit. They can also blur the lines a bit between light and dark, and they showcase that here in this film. And this film right here was awesome. Not only was it well received by critics, but this film has already grossed the 1 billion mark. This film has already grossed the 1 billion mark. I didn't even think it was possible in this decade for films to even make that much money anymore. This film has already grossed the 1 billion mark. Then this film, excuse me, then not only that, this film is already in the 12 highest grossing films ever. There's a list for highest grossing films ever. It's number 12 on that list. So, once again, well done. Congratulations to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've once again outdone themselves, and they deserve it because this film was that damn awesome. Awesome. Everything from story, action, the cast, and the characters who were involved. Every character had a purpose in this film, and every character was awesome and added something to the story. To the story. Um, so, like I said, this film was great, and this was a film you initially didn't want to see. I didn't want to see no Civil War storyline in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but after seeing Avengers: Age of Ultron and seeing what would be in this film, I um I want to see it, and I wish I would have saw it when it was released because, like I said, this film was awesome. This film was awesome. With that being said, let's get to the story. The storyline of this film. The storyline of this film. the storyline of this film is kind of hard to follow because there's a main plot, then there's this subplot, then there's this huge subplot. The main plot involves the Avengers. The film starts off with the Avengers fighting some super soldiers in the country of Wakanda. Um, when containing one soldier, Wanda accidentally teleports him. One actually raises him in the air and knocks him into a building, which accidentally kills several Wakanda workers, and the Avengers are held responsible for this and everything that happened in Avengers Age of Ultron. In the Avengers Age of Ultron, and Theudas Ross, um, Theudas Ross making his grand return in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, he plans to pass a law called the Accords, which will allow the government to control the actions of the Avengers. Tony Stark, Captain America, Captain Stephen Rogers, Captain America leads a team consisting of himself, Bucky, Wanda, Hawkeye, um, Ant Man, Scott Lang, and Falcon, Falcon, that opposes this law. Tony Stark agrees with this law, and leads a team of himself, um, War Machine, James Rhodes, War Machine, Vision, Vision, Black Widow, and of course, of course, and Spider Man. I think did I get everyone? Did I get everyone? Did I get the entire cast? Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, and T'Challa, the Black Panther. So Steve Rogers leads a team opposing this law, and Tony Stark leads a team um, accepting and defending this law, and that's pretty much the main plot of the film. Is these two teams clashing with each other. These two teams led by Stephen Rogers, Captain America, and Tony Stark, Iron Man, clashing throughout the entire film with different point of views. That's the main plot. The subplot is kind of hard to follow. The subplot involves the main antagonist of the film, Helmut Zemo. Helmut Zemo, a guy who lost his family in Wakanda because of the Avengers, and he now wants to destroy the Avengers from within by putting them against each other, and he does this by framing Bucky with multiple Winter Soldiers, including one I think that assassinated T'Challa's, the Black Panther's father, which leads to T'Challa T'Challa to wanting revenge on the Winter Soldier. So he joins a team of Tony Stark's to try to apprehend and not only catch but kill the Winter Soldier. And so, like I said, Helmut Zemo frames the Winter Soldiers for crimes he didn't commit, and uses this to destroy the Avengers from within. So that's pretty much the story. That's pretty much the story of Captain America Civil War. And like I said, awesome story. Every character in this film was awesome. Every character in this film was awesome. Tom Holland, he was awesome as Spider-Man. And in my opinion, he's probably the best Spider-Man we've had on screen. I love Tobey Maguire, but he didn't capture the um, the comedic side of Spider-Man. He captured Peter Parker real well, but his Spider-Man, I actually love his Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man, he didn't capture the comedic side of Spider-Man, and Garfield was just plain out annoying. His Spider-Man was much better than his Peter, but I didn't like his Spider-Man, and I damn sure didn't like his Peter Parker. Um, then you got what's the guy's name? Then you got, and now this guy captures both. He captures the seriousness and the awkwardness of Peter Parker, and he captures the smart ass personality of Spider-Man. Both the captures the humor of Spider-Man. Like I said, this guy, he he captures both personalities real well. He's not missing a thing. This is, like I said, this is the best version of Peter and Spider-Man. He gets both of these characters right, Spider-Man and Peter. You had the last two actors, yet them missing either one or the other. This guy, Tom Holland, nailed both of them. I wasn't on the floor, but I was laughing at the exchanges between him and Tony Stark, Iron Man. I love the chemistry between him and his aunt in this film. Much better than I did in the last film, which had him arguing with his aunt in the last Spider-Man film, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then of course I like the comical exchanges between him and Tony Stark, and the comical exchanges between him and Falcon and Bucky, which led to a funny scene where Falcon said something like, "Okay, I don't know who you are, but I don't know if you've ever been in a fight before, but usually in a fight there isn't this much talking. There isn't this much talking." And then later on in the film, after they're done fighting, when Spider-Man webs webs both the Bucky the Winter Soldier and Falcon together, um Fal- Falcon says Falcon says the Winter Soldier says something, and Falcon says, "I hate you," which Falcon and Hawkeye, everyone did a good job. Everyone did a great job, but Falcon and Hawkeye were the most hilarious characters. Were the most hilarious characters in this film. Falcon, Hawkeye, and Spider-Man were the most hilarious characters in this film. And Hawkeye was just hilarious. Earlier in the film, when they were attacked by T'Challa, the Black Panther, um, Falcon out of no Falcon when they're taken into custody, he's saying he talks to the Black Panther, talks to T'Challa and says, "What, you like cats?" And Steve, like, Falcon, he's saying, "Please," and Sam's like, "What? A guy comes out of nowhere dressed like a cat, and you don't want to know why?" That was just hilarious. And then the later scene with Hawkeye in prison, where he was like, "Don't ever trust this guy. Don't ever trust this guy." A Hawkeye trying to sound like some tough, hard ass prisoner and victim. It was both sympathetic and funny. Same with earlier in a fight when he was getting beat up. I keep forgetting who was beating him up. Who was beating him up? Oh yeah, Black Widow was beating him up, and then Wanda came over there and said, "You're pulling your punches. You're pulling your punches." Like I said, and Vision, he was hilarious too in this film. So like I said, the entire cast did a good job. Everyone had a purpose and a reason to be in this film. But like I said, if I had to say the MVPs when it came to comedy, would be Falcon, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, and Vision. But MVPs were obviously Tony Stark and Captain America. The ending fight between them when Captain America disabled Tony Stark's armor, and Tony Stark was like, You don't deserve that shield. My father made that shield. He drops the shield, and then the dramatic part where the dramatic part where Steven Rogers says Bucky was my friend, and Tony Stark says, "So was I, so was I," and of course, during the final battle, during the battle before the final battle, actually, during the battle before the final battle, Vision tries to hit Falcon with a blast. Falcon successfully evades the blast. Falcon successfully evades the blast, and it hits and partially paralyzes paralyzes um partially paralyzes James Rhodes. War Machine requires him to use an exoskeleton to move, to move, um, to move, and to move, and that's when the film really got dark. In the trailers, I saw this scene, and I was like wondering who died, but no one died. It was War Machine becoming severely it was War Machine becoming severely injured. But like I said, this, like I said, was such an awesome film, and Marvel Cinematic Universe, not only did they once again outdo themselves, but they proved their haters wrong. They proved that they could do a dark superhero, they can do a dark superhero movie, or a movie that blurs the lines between light and dark. Because there were lots of funny moments in this film, despite how dark this film was. But they can do a superhero film that tackles real life issues, just like Batman v Superman, and be more successful at it. Like I said, this film grows. Not only was it well received, but it grows the 1 billion mark. And so like I said, film everything. Like I said, every action scene. I enjoyed just about every action sequence, and there was not a dull moment in this film from beginning to end. This film was awesome, man, and it's probably, like I said, if you force me to choose, this is probably the best Marvel Cinematic Universe films. The villain in this film was way different than any previous villain we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the characters, man. Like I said, words cannot describe how awesome this movie was. It was better than awesome, and words cannot describe it. Like I said, this was my long review of Captain America Civil War. You probably even do another review similar to this one with even more spoilers and stuff when the DVD comes out. Alright. Dug out.